Okay, folks, we are live. Tonight, just gonna do a quick test on these WDTS Enjoy cars. They put out a new pack. I'll put the server link in chat. Let's see what I got loaded up. The Sojin, we'll just start from the top. So this one's got an M60. This one's also has an M60. They're about the same horsepower. This one has a wide body and is gutted. This one's an M50, a little less horsepower, and then I think the two 350s are basically the same. One is just missile, one is regular. There's one more E36 in this pack, but it's 500 horsepower compared to these are like 290 or 230. So I didn't load it up on my server because it's a little unbalanced to have on the server, but I'll probably try it at some point, but whatever. Let's just see what these do. And later I think we can go look for some tandems if we got time. See what's popping. So right off the bat, I mean, they look pretty good inside. It's got a bolting cage. Like the seat belts are really high quality. This is almost the exact same handbrake I have sitting in my room to go into my actual E36 318 Ti. I don't know if you can see where I'm pointing, but over there is a handbrake that looks almost the same, except the base is a little bit different. Now load in actually in a pretty good seating position. I think this is like the only car I don't feel like I need to change seating position on. Let's see what gear sets it's running. Okay, so the gear sets are not, at least on this car, are not S15 gear sets. A little bit different. They're really tall. Usually I would like to have my third gear closer to 80. So this is going to be interesting. Well, I don't think 68 is going to be enough to just do this all in second, so I'll go 3.5 for now. I have no idea what these tires are, but I'd assume like the other ones. Drop it down in a little bit, especially on the rear. Interesting. So the diff only lets you do preload and coast, so it's not one for XL. So basically lock on gas, lock on throttle. Diff coast should be lock off throttle. And if you want the car to unlock and swing around quicker, you can kind of fuck with that. Usually I run 60 on coast and then somewhere between 60 and 70, maybe even 80 on acceleration. I don't have that setting. This is all pretty much the same available settings. Let's just see how it feels on those. Seems really quiet. Let me see. Yeah, my audio is where it's usually at. I'm not really a fan of the sound. It's kind of trash, to be honest. Oh. Okay, there we go. So it's very floaty. Feels like I'm on ice. And it rotates way slower than the original WDTS cars. It's like those cars I could snap, like a snappy transition. I feel like you have to be really deliberate in your steering, brake, and throttle. It's like everything seems to be happening super slow. So the normal timing, I would time my transitions, my throttle, counter steering, all of that just seems hella off. It's like it has ice physics or something. I assume that's the tire model they're using doing this. I mean, it's smooth, but it's gonna take a little getting used to. I wonder if they're gearing this pack towards beginner. It's like, this is super fucking easy. And like being used to a little more challenging cars, it's like feels really dumbed down. Tires have like no fucking grip. See what happens if I soften the front a bit. See if I can get a little more response out the front by not having it too stiff. See if I can get more weight on the corners and a little more bite. Overall, I don't think I'm a fan. Just seems really arcadey. I don't know what word I'm looking for, but it feels a little fake, unresponsive, kind of dead. Easy to control, but between this gear set and the handling of the car, I'm not really digging it. Just seems like super fucking slow for a car that has 300 horsepower. I can't remember what the original WDTS power and torque figures are, but I don't think they're far off from this. And those cars just feel faster, more responsive. No, I feel like that's saying a lot, because my general complaint was the original WDTS cars is that they're kind of dead in the front and super understeery, and I don't really think this is any better. It might be a little less understeery, but this kind of ice physics feeling and this gear set is not my favorite, and it's not really making up for the fact that it's not as understeery as the original. At this point, I'd prefer the understeer of the original and have permanent rain physics feeling. Trying to whip it really fast just to see how fast the front reacts to the whip, and it's like I can kind of do that whole initial jerk on the wheel and the front doesn't do anything. Shit, the weight barely even transfers on that jerk motion. It's like I can do it mid-corner and it doesn't really affect my drift at all until I let off a little bit. Yeah, it's not really until I let off that it starts to transition. I can do that. There, I did it on throttle. Still very slow. You can speed it up by getting off throttle. You can speed up the transition. I'm like right there, if I didn't get off throttle, it wasn't going to come around at all. Alright, let's try out felony form 1. I don't expect it has different physics, but it might. Get one of my other controllers. For some reason in this one I've loaded in a little bit lower. Don't know why that is. Pretty sure they're the same model. Alright, let's hope this car feels better. I really do want to like them. I am surprised I didn't see many public servers, other people running them. Usually people are pretty quick to hop on a new car pack. Damn, same settings for diff.
But I was still visit, miss nothing that happens. Now I got the devil on my left and the angel on the right, trying to keep it in my mind every time I decide. I don't need a vest if you're trying to take my life. I am not afraid to die, my nigga, just try. You can never off me, baby can't hold my drive, no car seat. When I pull up, it's the latest, no tardy. Press a hell of button.
I got homie in here, FYK. Okay, cool. Now we should be able to get a better test running tandems. Yeah, like why did I load in hella low in this car, but the other E36 I loaded in like perfect? The fuck? If you are curious, I'm on Accuforce V2 is the wheel I run, and I'll run the wheel at 100, and then in game I run it usually in the 60s for drift, maybe in the 50s, or sorry, 70s for grip. If you do have an Accuforce and you want to see like my full settings, you can always message me. There's like way too many fucking settings to try to tell them on stream. Huh. Actually, surprisingly, this one feels a little bit different. There's nothing in the car description that says it should feel different, but it definitely seems a little bit faster on transition. Compared to the original WDTS, it still feels a little bit permanent rain physics-ish. Yeah, it's floating out a lot more than I expected to. Like it feels like it would. But yeah, the transitions do seem snappier. I'm getting a little more response in the wheel on a hard snap. Or sorry, response in the body. I wonder if FYK's driven these before, or if this is his first run in these. Kurashides. Bro, what is this song? Sorry, y'all. I'm playing that fucking copyright free shit again. Honestly, it's not good. Bro. FYK said these cars pretty slow. Did he say the same thing? Floaty? Floaty, yeah. See? I knew I wasn't tripping. They're hella floaty. They kind of remind me actually of the Jaya Street cars, or Gaia Street, however you pronounce it. Gaya. That's what they remind me of. But without the speed. If you look at the description, it says they're based on WDG and 101 Sim Squad physics, and I've driven the 101 Sim Squad cars. Actually, I've driven all of them. I don't see the similarity here. Shit. I think this car's got a little more power than he does. Mid corner is really easy to push up on him. Generally notice that Americans, people from Australia, New Zealand, tend to cut in at the first entry, make a hard right. All the Japanese dudes go to the bottom, make the right, and come up through that little bit. Just an interesting observation. Okay, after this run, I'm gonna change cars again. Try one of these 350s.
Houston, we got a problem. It ain't no rocket, he obnoxious. He out of pocket. When he be talking, he obnoxious. So damn obnoxious. He taking hostage.
Alright, let's try this M50 Beamer. So we've tried these two. That one was super floaty. The felony form one seemed to have a little more grip. It was a little bit more snappier. I'm gonna try the M51. I didn't like the gear sets on either the top E36 or the felony form E36. So let's see if this M51 has any different feeling or settings. It is the least powerful of the technically 4 E36s. He's in a felony form one now. Okay, so same gear set as the last E36. The settings on load-in seem to be the same. So I should be able to just make the same adjustments I made on the last E36. Okay, I'm I'm actually going to mess with this preload setting. Most preload settings don't go up to 1,000, and I'm wondering if on here they've done something that'll make this like actually more effective than it feels on the other cars. Because usually I can change preload and I don't really feel shit, to be honest. But who knows, maybe on this car it's different. Let's go here. Oh shit, also too low. It's got a better sound. Definitely feels slower, and I'm noticing the rear end is wanting to grip up at spots I wasn't having to kind of clutch kick out of or maneuver my way out of. Places that this felony form E36 in front of me just powered through. Feels like in second gear on the same gear set this car is bogging. It's about 60 horsepower less than the felony form in front of me. Yeah, this second gear is too long now. 60 horsepower makes a big difference apparently on this car pack. I mean, I can keep up uphill, but in terms of like the usability of this gear, it's totally different. I'm really having to hope and pray it just doesn't bog. I'm like pedal all the way to the floor. Okay, let me try a lower gear set. You guys come across, I'll link you if you want to join. Okay, let's try one of the 350s. Okay, so the 350 has S chassis gearing, or like the Nismo. Looks like the it's close to the Nismo gearing on the original WDTS pack. First impression, front end feels better than E36. Still like way more floaty than I feel like it should be. It's like there's times I'm really just having to come off the gas and baby it through a corner. But the feeling in the steering wheel is feeling like, oh, I should be fine to get back on gas, or I should be fine to make my next move. In terms of how fast the front end reacts, it's not really any noticeably different than the E36s, but the wheel feel at the front just definitely has a more positive response, and it's a lot more similar to like driving an S chassis on the original WDTS pack. I feel like I can manhandle this car more than the E36, but then shit like that happens where it's just drifting out wide more than it feels like it is. Alright, one more car we'll try. And then we'll call it on this review slash test slash whatever the fuck it was. Maybe this car will wow me. Maybe I'll just be super impressed, and that'll just be my shit. 350Z missile. Let's see what it do.
I'm finna slide. Probably took some from your mama, fuck you mean. Give me that front seat, top back beam. It's probably why her nigga mad, he know his bitch a eater. She re up on the meat like a piece of little Caesar. But her nigga, he be simping, he still begging for a feature. If I show you what I made, I swear that shit'll blow your mind. Doing surgery on your bitch, I had to rearrange her spine. Feel like Kyrie straight assist to my nigga dropping down. But like Kobe, I'm a baby when I still be getting.
Gonna try this car at a lower diff preload. See if I can get the rear end to snap around a little bit more, or it might just be totally terrible. Okay, let's go. I didn't really feel any difference on that diff preload. I'm gonna actually try making the rear stiffer, see if I can get it to react quicker but not keep weight over, you know, one of the corners as much. See if I can get a bit snappier rear end. Actually felt worse having the rear stiffer. Go figure. Not really sure you're gonna be able to tune out the floatiness. I think that's just one of its inherent physics, coded somewhere in the physics file, or set somewhere in the physics file, or the tires, likely the tires. Be curious what these felt like on just regular WDTS tires and not the WDTS E. Not terrible, but I think if you're fairly experienced and used to driving a mix of comp cars and just hot lap session cars, I think you'll be kind of bored with these. If you're a beginner, I think these would be great. I did not like Tandem Buddies as a beginner, but I think when I first started Assetto, a car like this would have been nice. It reminds me of a car pack called WMC, and they had a E36. And that was the first car I started really getting the hang of Assetto on, and something about it was just really simple and easy to drive, and that's what this Enjoy WDTS Enjoy car pack reminds me of. It's really just, you know, gas, counter steer, let off gas, transition, get back on gas, like just drive it with the basic fundamentals. There's not really any need to do any crazy tactics or anything. It's not gonna pull it off anyways. I'm a little disappointed in the liveries. I mean, I don't know if WDTS is supposed to be known for just doing stock and no livery cars. Is that just their thing? But so many creators putting out some like pretty sick liveries with, you know, just a basic car pack. It'll be nice to have some options on this one. Alright, I think we've given it a pretty good run through. Spent some, you know, actual time on it. Yeah, overall they were okay. I think if you're an experienced driver, if you've run comp cars and you kind of like comp cars, and you like higher horsepower cars, or just, you know, cars with a lot of feedback, you'll find those kind of boring. If you're pretty new, those are a good alternative to start on compared to like Tandem Buddies or WDTS cars. They don't have as much understeer as WDTS cars, but the floatiness, you know, forces you to, you know, that's kind of your challenge as opposed to just handling the car in general. You just really need to manage the floatiness. Which is fairly easy, and it's not, you know, something that's going to be super stressful to you, as opposed to like learning maybe on like a Banger JP set or like a Sujigiri set. Yeah, I think we'll just call it there on the stream. I'll hop back on and just run some tandems, but we'll call it there on the review stream.